You were at my house, but I wasn't there. And why wasn't I there?
This is a long time ago now. It was your assistant who I met you out with another time at in a bar in West Hollywood. But it was after some bar, and he said, "Oh, you know, come back. We're going back to Drew's." And I remember it was like a bunch of boys went back, and your swimming pool was so hot. It was like boiling. You keep your swimming pool really hot.
Yeah, this all tracked.
And then also you went downstairs and there was a little observation room. You could see people swimming.
Yes.
And people were swimming naked, so you could see people naked under the...
Well, that is a perfect parlay into another night where we crossed paths.
Right.
But that particular night, I was carrying around my trusty Polaroid camera.
Oh, no.
And we went to this bar, and I saw a string of Polaroids with clothespins strung up on string, and I'm like, oh, my God. I took a selfie of myself with my Polaroid camera and clipped one up on the thing. And about 10 minutes later, all of my friends were like, dude, no! And ran up and started pulling my picture down. And I was like, why are you doing that? Whatever this is, I want to be a part of the art installation. And they were like, it's a contest. And I was like, so? And they're like, it's a contest. And they're like, it's called Big You-Know-What Night. I think you won.
I did, I won.
All right, your new show, Traitors. It's buzzing. People are freaking out. We have a clip. Take a look.
My most esteemed guests, you're about to enter a world of backstabbing and treachery. And you thought the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was bad. For this game, you will need the strength of a lion, the stealth of a fox.
Everyone here is capable of manipulation and deceit.
Do not let preconceived notions fool or mislead you.
Okay, in that clip, we see Real Housewife Brandi Glanville and Below Deck's Kate Chastain. I mean, these are beloved. Social media, everyone's on the feeder frenzy, like these two women are so infamous. Yes. What were they like in real life?
They know what their power is, and they have a sort of persona, and so to see them then in a situation where that's being challenged, like this game, was hilarious. And Kate especially has a really amazing sort of journey through the competition. An arc, yes. Because she gets to the point where she just wants out. You can tell she wants to go from the game. She wants to be either, because in the game you either get murdered or banished. So she was trying to be murdered, and then of course they refused to murder her.
Yeah,
and then the other
television.
Exactly, and then the other people were like, well, we're not banishing her just because she wants to be banished. So, but in a funny way, that was what was the best part. Then she kind of came round and became this really good team player, and really loved it again. So it's actually a lovely, lovely sort of little story.
I love that. Now, I heard a story about you and a tattoo.
The one I think you're referring to, I don't have anymore. I had it removed from my body by laser.
What part of your body was it on?
Right there. I met a young gentleman, and we started a torrid affair. And after 2 weeks of knowing each other, we had our names tattooed on each other's bodies. And then we broke up 4 months later, and so I had it removed by laser a few months later. I was in LA doing a film, and I went to Cedars-Sinai, and there was a great laser place. But what is hilarious is that a little later after that, I met up with Raven again, and he said, no judgments, I have needs. And he said, you know, do you still have your tattoo, honey? I was like, no. And I said, do you still have yours? He went, kinda. And he pulled down his pants, and right there where I had mine, instead of, it used to say Alan, and now it says balance.